recognize the Chairman of the Committee on Science and Technology, Senator Edgardo J. Angara.
Senator Angara is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Majority Leader. Mr. President, the Philippines gained notoriety in May of 2000 when one of the most destructive computer viruses of all time was traced to a then 23-year-old computer science dropout in Manila. In just one day, Mr. President, that virus spread to 55 million computers around the world and wreaked havoc to software and businesses worth US $10 billion. But there was another cause for notoriety, Mr. President. While investigators were able to arrest Onel de Guzman, the alleged creator of the computer worm, he could not be prosecuted because at that time, we still had no law governing malware and related activities. In short, we were unable to bring to justice a wrongdoer who caused incalculable harm to millions of people and companies around the world. We tried to remedy the situation, Mr. President. In July of 2000, we enacted the e-commerce law to protect electronic transactions. 11 years have passed, and that's a lot of time, Mr. President, in the internet age. More than enough time for new threats and dangers to have emerged from the internet. The rapid rate of technological development has outpaced our capacity to effectively police a borderless realm. The internet, Mr. President, was born in the early 60s, but it's only in the late 90s that the necessary implementing regulations were drawn up. Today, the internet is an indispensable tool, having revolutionized the way we learn, the way we interact, the way we govern and manage businesses, the way we even entertain ourselves. It has liberated communication and different kinds of transactions from constraints of time and geography. Those are samples of the internet usage, Mr. President. This freedom, however, comes with a cost. Internet usage as well as abuse has skyrocketed in the absence of any appropriate legal framework. The ubiquity of the internet has given rise to the proliferation of cybercrime, which spans hacking, identity theft, spamming, phishing, denial of service attacks, malware, and child pornography and prostitution, and child and cyber prostitution. This can only be attributed to the inherent lack of security of the internet architecture, and the relative anonymity of users. The cybercrime industry has grown so huge, Mr. President. It is estimated that it has cost almost $1 trillion US losses from intellectual property and data theft in 1 year alone, in 2008. That's almost 3 years ago, Mr. President. You can imagine the tremendous increase in losses since then. Various studies, Mr. President, show how extensive cybercrime reach is. IBM, in its latest report released in March of this year, Mr. President, said that 210 had the largest number of vulnerability disclosures. This means, Mr. President, attacks on computer networks throughout throughout the computer world. This has significant implications on managing large IT networks. More vulnerabilities mean more time spent on fixing and securing compromised systems. IBM added that financial institutions are the favorite target of phishing or attempts to acquire sensitive information by pretending to be a credible entity. Furthermore, the U.S. Internet Crime Compliance Center, or IC3, to the third degree, to the third power, of the United States disclosed that there are 25,317 cybercrime complaints filed every month, Mr. President. Just last month, the consumer electronics giant Sony suffered two massive security breaches. First, it discovered that the PlayStation network was hacked, which resulted in the theft of personal information, including credit card details, of approximately 77 million users worldwide, Mr. President. Subsequently, Mr. President, they also found out that the second attack occurred, and the target was their online entertainment PC games network, and data from another 25 million accounts have been stolen. Symantec, a leading security software firm, revealed in its report that nearly two-thirds of 65% of adults globally have been a victim of cybercrime. In our country, about 87% of Filipinos have fallen to a variety of attacks, including malware invasion, online or phishing scams, and sexual predation. There are approximately 30 million Filipinos who use the internet regularly. Undetected cybercrime attacks translate to an average loss of over 28 days of about 12,203 pesos. This one does not realize that he or she is losing 12,000 over a period of 28 days as a result of cybercrime. As internet penetration deepens, the potential market for cybercrime will naturally enlarge, Mr. President, and expand.